It was obvious from the beginning that this global pandemic, that a European response was required to meet the unprecedented challenges around COVID-19. Therefore, we welcome this financial provisions bill. The SURE instrument contained within this bill provides us for 100 billion to be raised on the capital markets by the EU Commission, and it will enable Member States to temporarily mitigate unemployment risks. So for us, it will help us to finance our wage subsidy scheme. It is vitally important that this wage subsidy scheme continues while businesses struggle to operate to full capacity. Keeping people in employment during this time of uncertainty must be a priority. This was the approach taken in a number of other European countries. We saw the benefits of short-term work scheme in Germany during the recession in recent times. The temporary wage subsidy scheme here has been vital in keeping people in work and keeping working relationships intact. The EIB Pan-European Guarantee Fund will provide additional loans to SMEs, mid-caps and corporates impacted by COVID-19. But these loans must be interest-free. And we must ensure that the money available gets as quickly as possible to the place that it is needed most. Businesses need cash and they need it now. I welcome the steps that have been taken to date, but I am concerned that too many businesses and self-employed people are falling through the gaps. These gaps are becoming more evident as we push through the challenges we continue to face. Small businesses in Mayo continue to close on a daily basis, and we must stop this. I believe many of these businesses could remain open with the proper supports. I'm still of the firm belief that grant aid and not loans are necessary to keep these businesses open until such time as they are able to operate again to their full potential. We bailed out the banks, now we need a bailout for these businesses who have served us so loyally over the generations. We need to realise that enabling businesses to stay open, to employ people and to keep our towns and villages alive makes economic and social sense. It has to be the only show in town. Boarded up shop fronts, long queues for unemployment benefit and reduced returns for the exchequer must be avoided at all costs. We've seen too many times in the past that EU-administered loans disproportionately go to larger companies. Even in this fund, companies as large as 3,000 employees can access the loans. Of these loans, 65% will be ring-fenced for SMEs, but even SMEs is a broad category. Some SMEs have 250 employees. And again, we've seen in the past that larger companies are better placed to avail of these funds. They can afford the accountants and the financial expertise to draw down large portions of funding available, while the smaller businesses and businesses with only 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 employees don't have the means to do this. Minister, can I ask that this scheme be strictly monitored to ensure it gets to where it's needed most? To ensure financial institutions are not capitalising on the backs of struggling businesses. So please do not, as often happens, rely on the sketchy judgment of audit companies who fail to protect our best interests. Can we ask that you Can I ask what measures you are putting in place to conduct the real-time monitoring of the progress of this scheme so that we get the proper outcomes? Can we ensure that companies who benefit from this scheme operate in an ethical manner? It's important to support SMEs of all sizes. However, we also need to recognise the different needs of different businesses. SMEs need grant support. This is particularly true for the small businesses. So while there are positive elements here, we cannot let it distract from what is really needed, and that's an SME grant scheme, a scheme that will keep shops open in Belmullet or Castlebar and all our other streets and towns across the country. I am concerned that the necessary finance to keep these business open keeps moving out of reach. So while businesses hear of there being millions and billions available, they are often told that it's just not for them or it's not suitable for them. That's why we must aim to fill in these gaps. One business owner described it to me as like swimming in the deep end of a swimming pool, trying to reach out and grab the edge that keeps on moving. We need to get cash into these businesses, and we need to get it there now. Not in a few weeks' time, not in a few months' time. We need to get it there now, and this bill allows for that to happen, so it's up to us to make it happen in a timely and speedy manner.